Hi everyone, I'm Terry, and this is the Yarnjoy podcast, episode number 158. Welcome. Okay, so let's just get right into it, and I'll show you what I got done for this week. Okay, so for finished object number 1 for this week, I finished Sam the Snowman. So here he is, and of course he is the 6th character in the set, the crochet kit that I bought off of Amazon. That is the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cartoon from the 60s, I think it was made. I remember this from my childhood. Anyway, this kit comes with enough yarn to make Santa and Rudolph, and then there's a pattern book inside that you can make all of these other characters from the show. There's those 6 characters right there. So you have patterns for all of those, and you have patterns for all of those. Okay, and so I'm doing one per month throughout the year, so then at the end of the year I will have the whole set as part of my Christmas decor. Okay, so this is number 6 character that I just got finished. Okay, so now he will go along with all the other characters. As a recap, I'll go ahead and show you the ones I've made so far. Here is Santa right here, okay, and of course I have Mrs. Claus, okay, right there. And then I have Rudolph. This was the first character that I made, okay, right there. And I have Clarice, which is his girlfriend, okay. And then I also have Hermie the elf, okay. He was a little elf that wanted to be a dentist. So here he is. And so, like I said, now I have the snowman to add to my set. So I'm having fun putting these together. The snowman had a little bit more detail work to do because I had a felt piece I had to cut out and glue there. I had to make the little watch and the little watch face and the little details on his hat. So it was a little bit more fiddly, little bit, but not really too bad. It's just working with some little tiny stuff. But anyway, I'm real happy with the way he turned out. Okay, so on to finished object number 2. This is a crochet along that I participated in with Christy of Crochet Creations by Christy and Kim the Crafty Nomad. And this was their crochet along that they called the Lit crochet along, I think, right? What time is lit, I think, something like that. Anyway, it's a Lost in Time shawl. The pattern is by Joanna Lindahl, I believe that's the name. And of course, I will put links in the description box below to the patterns that I talk about in the episode. Plus, I will put a link to where you can purchase one of these sets off of Amazon if you'd like. Okay, so this is my Lost in Time shawl. It's one of those where you do the repeats and then you just keep repeating it until it gets the size that you want. And I just decided that I was finished. I was done with it. I enjoyed it, but I felt like it was large enough, and I was wanting to go ahead and get it finished off. In fact, the crochet along ends in just a few days anyway, so I wanted to go ahead and get it finished. So anyway, here it is. I used Lion Brand Mandala in the colorway Gnome, okay, and I will slip it on. It's not a huge shawl, but it is nice. It would be nice for somebody that is maybe in a wheelchair or, well, not necessarily, but I was thinking somebody that maybe has to sit a lot and you just want something to warm the shoulders. And so, you know, I think it's a good size for that. And the back does go down pretty far in the back, but not enough where you would, if you were gonna be sitting with it around your shoulders, you wouldn't want that to, like, you be sitting on it if it'd be too long. So I think it's a good size. So I'm calling it finished. This took me one whole cake plus probably about a third maybe of the second cake of the mandala, okay? So anyway, so that is finished, completed. Okay, next, oh, that's all my finished objects. So on to my works in progress. I'm still working on the unicorn. This is Jazzy the unicorn. I will pop in a picture here of Jazzy when she is complete, what she will be looking like. Okay, so that is Jazzy, and let me show you on my Jazzy how far I've gotten. I got her head complete with the eyes in. I still have ends to trim off yet, and I do have her head secured to her body. And then I have all the other pieces, like, you know, here's like the legs. I've got those. I've got the ears, which that will be the next thing that I will be stitching on, is her ears. One thing I do need to finish, I haven't made, is her horn, because for her being a unicorn. So I do need to do that. So I'm not quite finished with my crocheting yet. I need to make the horn, and then of course I have this, what I'm going to be using for her mane and tail. It is called Nursery Rhyme, and it is Big Twist Value yarns. It's a variegated yarn, so I'm going to be using that for her mane and tail. And then she will be finished once I get pieces sewed together. I was hoping I'd get it finished by now, but I haven't quite done it. But she's in the home stretch. Okay, so that is works in progress number 1. Let me put that back here. Okay, works in progress number 2 is goes along with my Preemie hat challenge that I put forth to myself, to do 3 Preemie hats per month to donate to a Halloween hat drive that I participate in, that donates to preemie babies in one of the area hospitals in their NICU departments. Okay, so for this month, I've already gotten 2 done. I needed 1 more to get done. And so this hat, I've just started on it. I've got the beanie part right here. I have a tail there I haven't weaved in yet. But this is going to be a Sully hat, like from Monsters Incorporated, okay? I did a Mike hat a month or 2 ago, I guess. And I was wanting to do the Sully to go along with it, but I did not have this yarn, which is Red Heart Super Saver in turquoise. And so I was waiting to get that, and I happened to be at Joann's the other day. They had a little bit of clearance yarn, and they had these 2 huge jumbo, Red Heart jumbo of the turquoise, and so I picked up both of them, because I think regular price, these are like, I want to say $10 maybe, or $8.99, $10, somewhere around there, without a coupon. And so they had them marked down to $5.99 or something, and they were in with some clearance yarn, and I did not know for sure if they were clearance or maybe somebody had just set them there, you know, changed their mind, didn't want to go all the way back to where the yarn department was to put them back, and so they weren't labeled, and so I didn't know for sure, but they did ring up at $5.99, something like that. So anyway, so now since I had the turquoise, I went ahead and started working on the Sully hat, and of course I will use that turquoise. I love this color for something in the future. I like to have that color on hand anyway. So anyway, this is what I've got. I will pop in a picture here of the Sully hat, so then you can know what I'm talking about and see what it's going to look like. Okay, so that is what this beanie is going to turn out to be when I get all the pieces made. This is a pattern by hopefulhoney.com, I believe, and I will link it below, of course, so that way you'll know where you can go if you want to get the pattern. Now, this was actually a 3 to 6 month size hat, I think, and so what I did is it calls for a, let me think, an H hook, I think, and so I'm using an F hook, and I went down one of the increases. It was supposed to increase to like 53 stitches around or something, the way she did it in the pattern, and so on that round I just increased to 48 stitches around to make it a little bit smaller, plus I did 1 less row and then finished it off with a single crochet row, because if you see in the picture, it is a hat that has ear flaps, and I don't usually make ear flaps for my Preemie hats. I just leave them off. So anyway, this will be Preemie hat number 3 for the month of June, just in the nick of time since this is toward the end of June now. Okay, and then the only thing else I worked on, I didn't work on the mermaid. I showed you the little mermaid toy set from last week, I didn't work on that because there's a crochet along that's just about to start, and so I needed to do some preparations for that, and so I had to work on that plus finishing the shawl and things. So I didn't get to the mermaid. So but she will be coming back, and I will be completing her. So, but there was one evening that I just wanted to work on something and not have to think about it. Didn't want to sew pieces together, you know, to do like the unicorn or whatever. And so I just grabbed some baby yarn because I've got quite a bit of baby yarn over there, and I was wanting to use some of it. And also when I was at Joann's, they had this little one lone ice cream, Lion Brand ice cream on clearance yarn, and I knew I had 2 skeins here at home, and so I went ahead and picked this up. This is Lion Brand ice cream in cotton candy is the colorway. And so I was really wanting to use this now that I have 3 skeins of it. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to use, and I couldn't figure out what kind of project I wanted to make that would look good in this self-striping yarn. And so I just decided I'm just going to start doing a corner to corner. Corner to corner always looks good in self-stripe. Drop something. I'll pick it up in a minute. Okay, so corner to corner always looks good in self-striping yarn. That's what I was trying to say. So this is what I started. Let me get still attached here. But anyway, so far that is how the patterning is coming out. Okay. And so since I have 3 skeins of this, I will finish this first one, and then I'm kind of chicken because you're thinking, well, what you need to do is do 1.5 skeins increasing, and then leave 1.5 skeins to decrease, and you'll use it up, right? And I'm afraid that I'm gonna go down to like 3 rows left and I run out of yarn. Oh man. So I don't know, I'll weigh them and then try to divide my yardage up, but then not yardage, usually I do ounces. But anyway, try to figure out where I need to stop, so that way I will definitely finish, you know, have enough to finish the other part of the blanket. So we'll see. I'm going to give myself a little bit of leeway because I'd rather have a little bit left over than run out. So anyway, that's what I'm working on here. It's just something that I don't have to think about really, just doing basic corner to corner stitch, and it's a very nice soft lightweight type baby blanket. So anyway, that is works in progress number 3. And so that's all I worked on this week. Like I said, let's go on to upcoming. So I am starting a crochet along for Dash the Deer. This is Jess Huff pattern, and now in Jess Huff's pattern, she has 2 versions of Dash the Deer. You can make Dash like a regular deer, okay, or you can make Dash and give him a red nose, and he'll be like more of a Rudolph type deer, okay? And so I've decided, since we're going to be working on it in July, it'd be kind of like a Christmas in July crochet along. And so I've decided that I'm going to make the one with the red nose to make it look like Rudolph. But if anybody wants to participate in the crochet along and they want to make this the regular deer, not Rudolph, then that's perfectly fine. Now I will pop in 2 pictures here, one of Dash the Deer regular and one of Dash the Reindeer, I guess, so that you can see the 2 different, you know, the 2. So here they are. So we're going to be starting this crochet along. Now, I first mentioned it in my Facebook group because it was on a day that I wasn't making a video, and I just got the thought, oh, well, I'll just ask some people in the Facebook group to see if they'd be interested in making this deer along with me. And so that's why it was actually mentioned in my Facebook group before I put it on video. But it is not limited to only people that are in the Facebook group. If you watch me here and if you don't have a Facebook account or you're not on Facebook, but feel free to join us and you know, make this project along with us if you want to. I'm just saying that it's not limited to where you have to be part of Facebook to participate, okay? And we're just doing this for fun and to have a nice, I know some people said they were going to make it for some grandkids, for a gift. Somebody was going to make it for a baby gift. You know, I will probably just make it for part of the Christmas decor in my house, since I'm going to be doing the reindeer version of it. Anyway, so the way I'm doing it, now I'm not technically doing a tutorial because it's not my pattern, okay? And Jess Huff over on her website where you find the pattern, it's a free pattern. She has several tutorials, not for like the whole thing, but for different sections of the project, okay? And very informative. In fact, she has a tutorial for how to not change colors. Well, you could use it to when you change color to avoid that jog. Okay, I don't call it a jog, but anyway, where it's not smooth. But it's a finishing technique, and I have not done that type of finishing technique, fastening off, but I really like it, and so I'm going to try to be putting that into effect in my other projects. But anyway, okay, so I'm not doing a line by line tutorial, but what I am doing is working along with you, and also, well, what I'm doing is I divided the crochet along up into parts, and then each week we'll work on a part of the pattern. And so I'm going to be doing it a week ahead. Like I've already done next week's part. I've already done it. So that way, if I run into any problems or think that maybe there might be a few things I need to point out to beginners, I will be able to do that when I make a video each week assigning that part of the project. Does that make sense? But those that are old hats at making amigurumi and don't need the hints, I mean, don't need the extra hints or whatever, tips or whatever, you know, feel free to work at your own pace and zoom ahead of us or whatever you want to do. You know, there's no definite time limit for the crochet along. If you don't have time to do it now, that's no problem. The videos will be up on my channel from now on. And so anyway, I did do an introduction video, and I will post that, a link to it below in the description box, so that way you can watch that and see the materials and a link to get the pattern and all that stuff. So anyway, so on Mondays I'm going to be filming, like this upcoming Monday, I'm going to be filming part 1 of the actual getting started part of the crochet along. And so I divide it up into pieces, and I'm thinking it's going to last us or take us until about the week of August the 3rd. During that week we'll be sewing the pieces together, okay? So it's not technically all in July. But like I said, if it takes you long to do the parts, the pieces, please work at your own pace. I am all for no stress. Okay, so long explanation of what's upcoming, but I'm excited about this crochet along, and I hope that there are those that will be also excited to be doing this along with me. Okay. So upcoming number 2 is this upcoming week will be Whip Wall Wednesday episode number 11, where because I do that every other Wednesday, and I'm going to be working on my next Whip Wall Wednesday project. In fact, I haven't worked on it yet since I announced what I was going to be working on. So that's definitely what I'm going to be working on this upcoming week. So I'll have something to show on Wednesday that I've done. Okay. Besides that, that's really it. I will give you a little info on my Etsy shop. I have been kind of getting in the mood to do a little bit of sewing. I've got some really pretty fabrics and things that I've been wanting to put together and make some project bags. Just, you know, I mean, I've got the fabric. I should put the stuff together. And so anyway, I believe that there will be some project bags that will be in my Etsy shop in the near future. So, but I will definitely give you sneak peeks of them, and so that way you'll know when they're there. Okay. Okay, and I think that is it for today's video. Yeah, I think so. Thanks so much to my new subscribers and to my subscribers that have been with me from the beginning. If you haven't subscribed to me, please consider doing so, and that way you can hit that bell below and you can be notified when I release another video. I make videos of all the different projects that I work on. I try to do a variety of different crochet projects, different types, and I am also putting out tutorials from time to time. So if you enjoy these type of videos and you enjoy yarn and crochet related items, mostly crochet, then please consider subscribing. Okay, and I think that is it. Yeah, so I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and stay cool. I'm burning up here. I've been having to put my hair up or ponytail it or something just all the time because it's too hot. So everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.